Hey, ladies and gents, it's Sam back with the rare tank review, and I'm actually doing the M-60. This was the first rewards tank given away in the campaigns, I believe, 5 years ago. Wow, it's been that long. That was a epic campaign. That was started at Tier 1. Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3, played all the tiers all the way to Tier 10 for this tank. And it was a long process uh, to get this particular tank. This tank had a somewhat of a it was kind of an interesting deal. People were bitched about it. They did not like this fact that this tank was going to be given away. That it was not in a tech tree. That only certain players are allowed to get it, and there was some rather heated conversations about the fact that this tank was given away in such a fashion. Now, of course, it was the first campaign, and they've had several since then. But this, at the time when it first came out, was kind of a, yeah, it was kind of a trigger thing, right? But anyway, yeah. So this tank, for the most part, in game, is been left behind. It is not what I consider a great tier 10 medium. T95 E6 might be worse by a little bit, but not much. So yeah, this is not, this is a 907 kind of caliber campaign tank. It's just a very meh. There's actually tier 9s that I would take. I would take the 46 Patton over the M60 most days. I can't tell you this. I mean, the gun's great on this thing, but yeah, that's the only thing it's kind of going for it. So, history of the tank. 1957, Army was looking to replace the 48 Patton with a new tank. I did this other reviews on the T95 series. These were the tanks that were in development to replace the 48 Patton. There's T95 E6, the E2. There's a couple other, the versions of it that I've did the reviews on. These were going to be the replacements for it. They ended up not being as good as the 40. They might have been slightly better, but they weren't something the Army was looking for. So after these series of tanks were canceled, we went back to the drawing board, and they went this was never ended up having the Patton name, but it was definitely along the evolutionary lines of the Patton. All said and done, they produced 15,000 of these tanks, and they were produced and sold all over the world. I mean, Iran used them, Israel, Turkey, Brazil. Yeah, everybody had this tank that was an ally to the United States at one point or another. The one interesting thing about it is that even after 40 years, this tank is still being used. The Egyptian army has I believe, over 1,200 of them. Turkey has around 900 of them, and the Israelis still have about 700 of them. I believe at least Turkey and Egypt are still active. I believe Israel retired theirs in 2014. So they had a very long haul, a very upgradable tank. In fact, I do believe this picture here is the Sabra. This is a M60T. This is actually used by Turkey, but this is I believe, an Israeli upgrade. And you can tell of course, by the turret, how it looks very similar to the Merkava main battle tank for the Israelis. So yeah, very solid tank in its career. Had the 105 millimeter, and used extensively for over 40 years all around the world. What we have in game is the 105 has a 390 average damage, 268 pen, 7.26 second reload, 9 degrees of gun depression, 1.5 aim time, 0.32 dispersion, and 3,221 average damage per minute. Yeah, that gun handle, the gun on this thing is ridiculous. Very good. Good at shooting on the move, good snapshots, not a lot of problem penning things. Yeah, it is ridiculous how good that gun is. Very similar to the 48 Pattons. The 48 Pattons has a little bit faster reload, but a little better, a little worse dispersion, and I believe a little worse aim time. But for all intents and purposes, the gun can only make so much of this tank. 2,000 hit points, 93 hull armor, compared to the 48 Pattons, I believe, is over 150. And of course, the turret armor of 177. The 48 Patton gets 254. Yeah, this is a cheesehead. This thing right here, you stick your face up anywhere, tier 8s can pen you right about anywhere in here except for these big, right underneath the infrared spotlight. The gun mantlet's the only thing that you have a hope of bouncing. And you do bounce stuff, don't get me wrong. But for the most part, this thing gets penned from the front relatively easy. Same way with the fact that they stuck a small car for the cupola on top of the tank, and this is, of course, is a huge weak spot. That to be said, hull armor, once again, don't expect to be bouncing anything, just don't get shot. 46 tons, 49 fully loaded, 750 brake horsepower, 16 tons per horse, 16 horsepower per ton, 48 top speed, 59.98 traverse speed. If you're familiar with the 48 Patton, the mobility is very close, very, very close to it. You know, obviously it's not exactly the same, but close enough. Concealment 9.95, 8.19 for the movement. Yeah, not stealthy. So yeah, that's what you get. Epic gun handling. The rest is shit. There's just no way around it. 447 view range. You know, that's almost on a three skill crew. I don't quite have recon up. Of course, it's going to make it go up a little bit more. I do run the GLD on this for a few games, and of course fence and rammer. Sometimes I put the optics on it depending on what I'm doing with it, if I'm fucking around or not. I played 6 games in it to get these 3 videos. You know, and there wasn't any time that I was playing the videos I went to myself, God, I wish I played this tank more, because it's just not, you know, there's tier 9s. I would take the 46 Patton. I would take this tank over the M-60 95% of the time. There's just nothing about this. So if you win the campaign and you're looking to pick out a tank, get the 907 or the 72, one of those. This thing is just, yeah. And like I said, between this and the T95 E6, I'm not sure which one is the more meh tank between the two of them. APCR is standard rounds. Heat, of course, 268. Heat rounds, you get 330. Nice penetration on the heat rounds. And of course the 105. Now most of the early models of this tank had a British gun. I do believe later on when the Americans were able to develop a 105 that was sufficient, they actually did switch it back out to the American-made 105. So that's the in-game M60, and I will be bringing up the replays for you guys to check out right about now. Alright guys, back with the M60 battle. We're on Erlenberg here. I pick up a platoon mate in an E50M, my tin cup. Yeah. So, I'm going to take advantage of that big, beautiful 9 degrees of gun depression. I'm going to go work the 9 line over here. So, off I go. T54 with me. Yeah, we got some real nice hill fighters here. We had a Centurion 7-1. He went the other way. We have the M46 Patton, myself, and of course the E50M. So we're off to the races, and I'm trying to get over here into position here where I can lay down some thunder with my beautiful 105. Can't get the shot in the easy 113. And I'm going to see if I can work up here just a little bit here, see if I can see anything. Maybe get that Wheezy 132 spotted a little quicker. There he is. Pick up the spotting damage on him. And all he's doing there is early lights. He's trying to get shots for anybody that's sitting over along the 7-8 line that could possibly get up there. Put a little risky move in here. I need to get over here to this side. Playing too far back here is not a good idea. Pick up the Wheezy 120. Just going to use my cover as I work my way up here. I'm trying to get here on the 430-2. Type 61, Centurion 7-1. So they got a bunch of tanks here with some gun depression as well. Now that 432 is on the backside of that slope, and if you've ever been along that red line over there, he can't depress his gun. So he's trying to work his way into position to do that. I'm leaving myself a little too exposed here, so you're going to see me here start pulling up for a reason. And I'm going to try to get myself into position. Oh, the heat round from the 430. Well done, sir. Well done, sir. Pick up. Put a nice snapshot into him for 319, but he had rolled 422. Oh, the sizzle. Love that sizzle. I'm not, like I said, terribly sure at this point. Like I said, sitting back in the back right there, all they're going to do is pawn the shit out of you. So looking for the last on the 430-2, hit the dirt, but my buddy in the E50M moves up. So unfortunately, I lose about half my health from that little battle. That shouldn't have took place because, you know, the medium I was hoping were going to be pushing up with me. We got him knocked out, so we've gotten a little bit of advantage now. We're going to move up in here, and we're going to see what we can do here. Trying to keep my, obviously my hulls is like butter, so I'm just going to sit here and try to help out E50M. T61 moves up, and that's when my platoon mate goes complete YOLO into a crowd of 3 tanks and a bunch more. Yep. So I'm up to 1900 here. Oh, donked a shot, hit the dirt. Yeah, this isn't looking pretty. They already got one Type 5 over there. They've already cleaned that side out. Type 61 apparently didn't know that my turn is cheese and hits the gun matlet. Puts me up to 2300. One more to put him out. There we go. Finish him off. Or I thought I finished him off, but apparently it was a critical hit. Damn. So I'm 1,000 spotting and 2,400 damage. Got the 113 up here on the top here. And honestly, like I said, this is just this tank struggles so hard. It is not a good tier 10 medium. It's not even a good tier 9 medium for the most part. Other than that gun on it, that's about the only thing that has going for it here. So the Wheezy, he gets kind of cheeky fuck, pulls up alongside me and puts a shell into me, leaving me the Centurion 7-1. Centurion 7-1 does not have the big gun, so I was able to bounce him here. Oh, yeah, you know, and I just said how awesome this gun was. Not really. Put another shell into him, 414, put me on 3,100 damage. The other side just got fucking crushed. The Strev 103's up here. I'm not sure what he's doing. Centurion 7-1 actually cannot see me with that bush, with the tree in the way. So I'm at about 3,500 here. 1,200 spotting. Yeah, finish him off. And we are hurting right now. We're actually 4 or 5. Better than I thought it was. And this is the point where everything goes to shit. This push right here, I'm not terribly sure what's going on here. Miss the kill on that tank, but I get the M-60B here. He's sitting here waiting. Can't quite get it through there. Nope, nope, nope. So I'm looking here, looking here, looking here. I'm seeing if I can snipe him. Not a whole lot there to shoot through. I actually did pen that shot after the battle. Looking at the actual damage I did, I did have a couple of blind shots on here. 4502 once again, going around the corner like that with the MX-50B with their reload and his gun and his firepower, giving me a side like that. That's not a good place to be. So missed a shot on the MX-50B. We had lost way too many tanks already. Pull off the Wheezy 120. Bounce the shot from the 113. How the fuck that ever happened, I have no idea. About that time, Artie's going to be an asshole. And I take another one to the knee. Yeah. Pull up here, see if I can get the 103. And yeah, I donked the shit out of that one. That's about the time I remember there's an AMX-50B up there. He actually bounces another one off my turret. So I'm sitting about 3,800, 1,200 spotted. And it's, like I said, it did not go well. That push around the corner right there where the Strev is sitting, who is still sitting there for some reason in the open, did not go well at all. T10 moves up. And this, like I said, I'm trying to not shoot the T10. Unfortunately, I missed the shot and he gets killed. Yeah, so now I'm sitting here waiting. There we go. Finish him off. 4,500. And it's still a pretty tight game. This is still doable, right? I mean, we could still win this game. And that's about the time the T30 finishes off the Strev, leaving me the T49. Bat Chat picks up him. We're sitting at 10-11 right now. Pretty decent. And fuck you, Artie. Yeah. I love them auto-loading shits. So, 1,300 spotted, 1,460 blocked, and I ended up with 5,254 damage with those blind shots on the MX-50B. So not a bad game, other than the fact we did lose. You know, this game could have been an entirely different matter if those guys wouldn't have YOLO'd around that corner. I mean, we lost 4 tanks right off the bat. So, that was the loss. Now I'm going to bring you an actual win. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and here comes the next one. Alright guys, back with the second video with the M-60. We are in Canada. Yeah, Canada. So, we have a top tier match here, IS-4, E50M, and a T110E4 on the other side. And I have a Moss, me, and a Badger on this side. So this is a pretty good matchmaking for me. I was hoping to get the lights to understand where they needed to go, but you know, if you're a light tank player, you only need one guy to go to that bush. Any more than that, you're just wasting time. And you'll notice that there's a literal struggle at that bush right here as they try to fight their way in there. So, but we're not going to worry about that because I'm going to go over here to the 1-2 line, use my gun depression and the wonderful snapshot ability of the M60 to do it. You know, if you played the M48, it's got similar mobility to the M48. The gun isn't quite as good as the 48. It's got a little bit slower reload. But other than that, it's very close. So the soft stats are close and all that kind of stuff. Pick up a nice 250 spotting damage. Gets my first shot off with the KR for 41. And, of course, I thought I had a little bit of chance of bouncing that. But, once again, 171 on the turret. Easily penned by a tier 8 firing AP. Yeah. Cheese, boys. Cheese. It's all about the cheese. Not even good cheese either. More like a nasty blue cheese, maybe. Pick up the E50M. He's looking. I don't want to get shot by that. Back up. And since they hadn't pushed up here, so it was pretty obvious they didn't have shit for their tanks on this line. AMX 65 tons trying to figure out why he's getting shot. Well, you know, poke out a little too often. So I'm going to move back around here. I need to get down and underneath that line of camping tanks over here. That's usually a pretty good sign that this is going to go to shit real quick here. So I'm just kind of waiting here, just kind of waiting. Hopefully. Oh, Waffen-Traeger moves behind the hill. AMX 5120 sitting down there. T-20 pilot went fucking YOLO, which is all right because I'm going to take that YOLO as the break I needed to get down here and up and underneath them. Obviously, I have enough sniper tanks here. I can at least provide the lights for them. And I also do have a little bit of help in the E-50, so I'm not going to really let myself hang out here too far. Push up, got the Hawk 12, and he puts himself in kind of a bad position right here. Pull up, put a nice shell into him, puts him up to about 1,000 damage, and the Hawk 12 gets tracked and wrecked. Yeah, there we go. So, got an AMX-5120 here. Everything's over on the 2 line, so I'm thinking to myself, well, there's probably not going to be a whole lot here to fuck with me. So I'm going to move up here on the MX-5120, and as long as I stay roughly on this side of the hill, if he decides to push me, he's going to get wrecked. Come around the corner, put a nice shell into him, bounce a shell, and then the Batch 12, oh, what is this? What is this? Yeah, he's just, he goes nutso too. So pull over, put another nice shell into him. Waffen Traeger finishes him off, and we got everybody sitting around here hanging out. Put in a, don't get the shell off in time. It's kind of a route, actually. 1845. Now, the next game I'm going to show you is going to be an epically fun game. Really fun game. And you'll see what I'm talking about when I bring up the next game. It is one of those games you're just like, how the hell did we win this game? This one was kind of more of a, give you an idea what the mobility of this tank is, what this 105 can do with the snapshots, accuracy and all that stuff. So now we've kind of run into a little bit of a problem here. Can't really progress with everything sitting this is, so I'm going to push myself over here. E50M bounces off the actually only part of the turret that you can, hits the gun mallet, but now I'm up underneath his gun, and so I noticed IS-3 decides that he's going to drive over the track. Yeah, I take a nice 403 from him, pick up a little bit more spotting damage. Got the 48 patent sitting over there. I don't want anything to do with that. Now, I'm moving up in here. I got the Object 430 to my side because I got 2 tanks over there, but of course, no, he's going to shoot me. So, you know what, fuck him. I always do that. Just when I think I got it, they get away from me. Put a shell into the E50M. I don't really want to trade damage with that guy. He's got a little bit more health than I do. So, yep, I'll just let them take a little bit of little arty love. Pull up over the top here. E50M's down there watching. Nah. See if I can get the Strev. He's sitting nice there still for me. Finish him off. Got me a 46 patent for the rear. Yep, finish you off, buddy. 3,100 damage, 1,261 spotted. And I got me an E50M. About the last one to shoot here. Now, so I could take a shot. Ooh, ricochet off of his turret. Kind of too much, a little bit too snappy right there. Oh, here he comes. Back up. Put a nice shell into him. Gets me up to 3,600, 1,200 spotted. And kind of an ass whooping. There really wasn't a whole lot to worry about. They had way too many campers. Lots of TDs, but lots of camping. So, 1 tank left. And we got 8 minutes on the clock, boys. What are we doing? Yeah, I didn't even realize the mouse had come with us. But apparently he didn't want to fight the IS-4. So, I guess that works. So, kind of know where the M4 is at. He looks like he's to be in cap. I'm getting a little greedy here. I just wanted 1 more shot of damage to get me up to 4K. But, sadly, he's only got 140. And he's going to go and get wrecked. So, next game, very exciting game, lots of fun. Stick around for this next one. It's going to be worth it. Alright guys, back with the final game with the M-60. So I played 6 games in this tank. And yeah, I played 6 games in this tank. And I don't have a whole lot of games. I mean, once I got the tank, I played it a couple times, like 3, and I was like, fuck it, this thing ain't worth time or effort to even spend a bunch of time with it. But since I decided to do this replay, and I believe over the 4 or 5 years since I've had this tank, I've played it maybe 20, 25 times. But now, like I said, I slapped I think 6 games together and see what I could do with this tank. And it is weak, and I'm not gonna lie to you. If you ever win or able to place in that um, into the campaigns, this isn't the one I would take, boys. I would take the 907. I would take the 72 super heavy. Hell yeah, I would take any and or those over this thing. It might be better than the T95 by just a little bit. That'd be the only other tank I wouldn't take. I don't have the 121B, so I couldn't tell you. But yeah, this would be in the bottom 2 of my choices. So, moving up, and right off the bat, we got the Batchat 25T and the 430 go up the north to their death. If you don't know anything about this map, going up the 9-0 line is usually a piss poor choice because you will get wrecked by everything that sits at the C6, C7 area. And even if you do make it up to the top, to the 0 line, you have absolutely no way for anybody to support you up at the 0 line. TVP's over there. They already start the wreckage, boys. Yeah. So I'm going to pull over here and see if I can pick off some easy shots on these incoming tanks here. Now, what's interesting about this game, usually when you lose map control, you're going to lose the game, right? And if the enemy gains map control, there's a better than 95% of the time you're not going to win the game. There's just no way around it. They have all the angles. They have all the eyes on all the targets. So, yeah. Pulling up in here, just going to see if I'm going to get lucky enough to pick up anything coming around. As you noticed, the Batchat met himself a fiery death. And the 140, or the 430, I'm sorry, is totally fucked. Because now he's got to run away from that, across the flat open ground. Yep, there he goes. I'm not terribly sure if he's going to make it or not. I don't remember. So I'm waiting for the E4. And I think about, yeah, you know what, fuck it. I'm going to TD. There we go, buddy. I know there's somebody's in there. There's always somebody in there. And there was somebody in there. Yeah. Looking around here, unfortunately did bounce after I looked at the after the game, but it was one of the E4s. So yeah, always got to make sure you're not sitting out there. T57 goes fucking YOLO. Yeah, that's not a good place to be with 3 TDs. No, just no. So he moves back, pick up the E4, and they pick up the first shell on him. Gets the one on the lower plate for 388. Back up a little bit here. Let's see if I can pick up another one right there in that plate, or at least a track shot. Didn't penetrate their armor. But he gets erased, and the game's on. Using, and that's what this tank is. It is a pure second line support tank. You don't want to be up trying to brawl with shit if you don't have to. Use that gun, use that nice accuracy, use that gun handling to make to do your damage, especially in this situation. So now, if you notice the map, we have lost 3/4 of the map. I mean, we don't control. Yeah, we don't even control where we spawned right now. So pick up 415 on the AMX-50B. Duck his ass back down, and we are just going to sit here. And it's going to get long and relatively boring here. Trying to pick up a shell there, but I just outside the reticle. I think I hit the dirt. So, and it's got, like I said, it's going to be one of these patience games. And this is kind of the difference between. Normally, this would just simply be an absolute rout, but these guys were nice of themselves to literally play in here. And I was talking about how accurate this gun is, and then it pulls shit like that. But that's, it's RNG. You're going to get trolled one way or another. 261 on the bottom. Type 5's heavy's holding strong down there. I'm sure he's getting pummeled the shit out of by artillery. But it's kind of a I thought about going out to help him early on in the game here, but that's a real risky move to try to make that cross the bottom down here, where the 430 had just gone. Yeah, not a good place to go. So apparently the 430 had made it back down the 0 line with most of his health gone. Not surprising. I've been kind of sitting here waiting. I was really hoping that IS-7 Badfinger would stick his nose out just a little bit. And let me try to get one more shot into that either. E4 is not moving up. Neither is the Strev. The E100 and the 57 had moved up. But we had a fair amount, like I said, a 57 AMX-50B and the PZ-7 sitting on the back side here. So our rear was pretty well secured. It was the front part here that really sucked. Looking around, 7201K is up on the hill. Type 5 is playing it strong. Now it comes down to the pace game. And surprisingly, like I said, with this much map control, we were sitting about even, really. Finishes off the FV 4005. Streb moves up into here. He wants a piece of the action. Alright, I'll be friendly. I'll be nice. Move back. Just looking. And that's a lot of what happened in this game. It was relatively, quiet. Lots of action at the end. It's all about the patience. I mean, this could have ended very badly for us. We could have been literally overrun and schnockered like you wouldn't believe. Type 5 Heavy still up there. I don't know if he was planning to play bait, but whatever he was doing, it was kind of not working. They put another shell into him, knock him down to 23%. T10E5 finishes him off. 57 finishes him off. Or the Type 5 finishes off the other Type 5. Finally get the shell into that IS-7. Unfortunately, he's able to repair. I was kind of hoping to get a little bit longer track on him so they can work him over. Type 5's moving back up to 261. He's making a break for it finally. I wasn't terribly sure if he was going to stay down there and die or what. AMX-50B is sitting at 106. And we have a 430 down on the bottom. Okay, so now it's a little interesting here. What are we going to do? E4, he hasn't moved up. So now the Strev 103B knocks that guy out. And I'm thinking to myself, what? How did that happen? I wasn't terribly sure if the Strev had moved or not. But we'll see here. We'll definitely see what happens here. Back up to the top of the hill, looking around, and that's but this is American tanks in general. The view range on these tanks are always ridiculously good. Move up in here. I was thinking to myself, okay, maybe the Strev had moved out of here, and that's when I pick him up, driving away. Puts a nice shell into him from the rear. That's that beautiful gun handling on this tank. Very little dispersion, very quick aim time, and is able to put in a nice snapshot as he's running away. Alright, shit's happening finally on the K-line. And they've finished off the 430. And I'm going to... Now, I don't have much choice here. This is where the game can be... You make it or you break it, right? With nobody down there, they're creating angles, shot angles on our tanks here. The E5, the 7, and the VK. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put myself out here. I'm full health. I don't feel too bad about this. Put a nice shell into the 140. Track him. And come on, buddy. Put another nice shell into him. That's all right. Get you down to a one shot. Yeah. And this is, of course, like I said, this is the problem with being where I'm at. I'm going to be open to arty, but I have to have the eyes down here. And with the Patton series, well, this is actually technically not a Patton. I don't think it was ever named. It never took the name of Patton, but it was along the same lines as the 48 and the 46. So yeah, you'll hear me say this probably more times than I should. Game's still relatively tight. They're up 2 tanks. And I'm looking. And I do believe at this time I was actually running... I think I was running coded optics. I didn't think I had a gun lane drive on this one. That's why I was able to pick up that Strev out in the open like that. So, no shots. I'm going to back up in here and see if I can get a shot on the AMX-50B. Just poke my head over just enough and see if I can get down on him. But we got to keep these guys lit too. Pulls around the corner. Come on, buddy. Come on. I know you want to come out here. I know you want to play. I know you want to get shot. But you don't. What a dick. Nothing. I'm not sure he wised up. Super Conk finally shows up. This could be a problem. That thing's got ridiculous turret armor. So, yeah, it could make it. It could not go well here. He might be able to play that whole corner right there against the E5 and the 7. So I'm going to see if I can snipe out. Oh, they finish off the MX-50B. Super Conk finishes off the 7. And I got the 140 straight ahead of here. So, they finish him off. So now I got a TVP. I know he's over here. He was sitting at about 900 health. I'm at 1463. There is a good chance he could possibly clip me out, and there wouldn't be a whole lot I could do about it. So I'm still going to play this a little conservative here. And I'm just looking here as much as possible to what I can. TVP gets wrecked, so now I'm in a little bit better position here to help with finishing off the TVP. 261 finishes the IS-7 off, and now we got a game, boys. Now we got a game. Patience is a virtue. I wish I was in a different tank. I could have been a little bit more aggressive, but once again, like I said, this thing is not a very good tier 10. I would take the 46 Patton over it in a heartbeat, or a T-54 or an E-50, just about anything. But I'm trying to make a video here for you guys, so I'm gonna suffer for your guys' enjoyment. Yeah, that's the kind of guy I am. Strev shows up from the rear. Super Conk's pushing, but we do have 2 autoloaders and another Strev, so this is not a wise mood. But they do it. TVP, spot him at 233. Yeah, it's time to end this. Give us a chance to get out here and move a little bit. All right, moved up in here. He gets the first shot into my track. And I shouldn't have repaired that. I actually didn't even think about that when I did it. Gives me the Type 5. Switch the heat round because they're bullshit. Yeah, you heard me. Type 5 is bullshit. Anybody that comes up with a KV2 for tier 10, thank you, Wargaming. Awesomeness. Alright, heat round's not bad on this tank. I believe 330. So now we just have the Type 5. And I thought the little bastard probably couldn't see me right here, but unfortunately he did. Yeah, puts a nice 545 damage into me. The E5 moves up on it, so we have me and him, artillery, and whatnot. So, put another shell into him. Still can't pen with the heat round. And there's really no point in fucking around with him now, because he's got 196 left. Put one into his usual weak spot, but that didn't work. I think he was sitting back a little too far. So, good game. This was a lot of fun. And that motherfucking Artie. Ugh. Yeah. I was in a tier 6 game the other day. And it was a tier 8 match. And I got bombarded by 2 artillery the whole game. Wouldn't let me do anything. I couldn't even. Every time I got spotted, there was 2 artillery shells. And I'm like, you know what? This is bullshit. It's a tier 8 match, man. What the fuck? But, hey, that's my rant for the night on artillery. Hope you guys enjoyed the videos. M-60, do not get it if you have a different choice. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and we'll see you guys later.